people are going nuts. They don't like it.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Yeah, we operate in this country with some very interesting people, I guess. I shouldn't start the live stream with insults, so I'll just say interesting people. Hi, everybody. Everybody, hello. Hope you're great and well, dry and safe out there, and so forth and so forth. So how y'all been?
Well, we were supposed to get like anywhere from 6 to 15 inches of snow Thursday night into Friday. We got 0.
Goodness.
Not even a flurry.
It was supposed to snow here, but it's thankfully staying a little warmer, so we're missing the snow part. So I'm kind of, I like the cold, but I'm kind of over being cold. So enough of that. But then when the heat comes, I'm gonna complain every day, every single day.
We got up to almost 50 here today.
Oh wow!
I think Peanut said that we're not going to break 63 this week coming up, and I'm like, yes. And he's like, I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like,
east of me,
he acts
they
like
got
a
a lot of
90-year-old man. Huh?
East of me, they got a lot of snow, but it warmed up there too, so it's probably all melted off already. I was glad it missed us. I mean, it missed us by like an hour's drive away because they were forecasting a really wet, heavy snow. I was like, oh God, don't bring me 15 inches of that crap.
I started my spring cleaning early. So
what did you get rid of anything, or did you just organize?
Yes, I did. We have 2 trash bins for trash. One of them is completely full to the top. I went, my office in this room over here, the loft area, Johnny, there's a storage closet in there, in that office room that goes the length of that wall. And it was just stuffed with crap that I'm like, why is this here? And so all my candle stuff that I had in my office, I wanted to move it into that storage space so I can, because my office was just cluttered. And I can't work when there's mess or clutter. I can't do it. So I took it.
Never come to my house.
Yeah, I just can't. I get anxiety. I can't concentrate. I get all moody. Like,
you'd have a full-on panic attack here.
I had enough, and I went through and started cleaning out that storage closet and moved all my candle making stuff in there. And there's actually room in there now to like walk, but holy crap, dude. Like 3 days of cleaning that thing out, Johnny. 3 days of I was like,
I'm always amazed at what I have when I start going through it again, because you just get used to, okay, put it in the bin, put it in the bin, put it in the bin, lid, put it in the bin. And then you go back through and you're like, where did this even come from?
And all the stuff that I threw out was like stuff that Peanut's mom, she'll go through her stuff, and instead of throwing it away, she gives it to us. And I'm like, I'm telling you, a huge container, those plastic containers, the see-throughs, full of magazines going back to like the 90s. And I'm like, and they're not even magazines I would read. They were the Christian Science magazines. I was like, why do we have 4 boxes of Christian Science magazines in this? I was like, toss. All kinds of crap. So
I used to subscribe to a lot of magazines because I would have to do trend presentations in retail. So I would subscribe to all the fashion mags and the home mags and everything. And I was getting ready to move, and I was like, not moving magazines. Nope.
No. But it's like, I can understand like regular magazines, but Christian Science, first of all, we're very secular people. Second of all, we're not Christian scientists. And third of all, why would I want to read it? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm going to find Jesus
give you your
from an
gory
article
books.
in 1990.
Yeah, give you your gory books. With killer pigs.
Yeah, with psychotic, what is it?
A sociopathic pig.
Yeah, Serial killer telepathic pigs. Mm-hmm.
So any announcements?
Sacred Sounds of Coffee tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time on Jody Roberts' channel. Thank you for anyone booking readings with me. You can go to my website, jenlintero.com. If you book a Skype reading, once you get an approved email, go to your Skype account and see if you have an invitation to connect from me, and accept the invitation, please. That's all I got.
Oh, I see Jody in the comments. Hi, Jody.
Hi, Jody. Okay, so where to start? First of all, there was another train derailment in Ohio. They said it was not carrying toxic chemicals this time, but there was another one. Lord, where to start? Look, can we start? Let's start at CPAC. How about that?
I just saw parts and clips like on Twitter. It sounded like an absolute clown show. Like Kimberly Gargoyle was over there selling, like everybody was selling stuff. Like
when it's run by Matt Schlapp, the groper, I mean, what do you expect?
Oh,
thank you, Margaret.
Oh, I'm going to be petty tonight. I'm starting already.
So I want to know first, though, what happened? Because the crowd was small, all of the people were goofy. Like, what happened? Why was the crowd so small? Where was the support? You know, this is like the event for these people. What happened? I'll use my deck that's nothing but towers, so that way we'll see. We'll see what happened.
I'm going to say MAGA may be starting to get woke a little bit, because they've been lied to over and over and over again. It's like it's dogma that they're secure in, but like there's been a change with the big lie, and they're now like starting to have regrets and starting to realize they lost, and things are starting to get a little more balanced and harmonized. I think they're still committed to Trump, but they're confused. There's treachery and there's burden, and they're just kind of like mulling things over. I think they're starting to get a little bit woke. You need more money from me? You want more money from me to pay for all this crap, and you're doing nothing for me?
So this is what I got. So the people that are sane have exited, and the people that have come are the liars and the grifters that are part of the entourage. So with Kellyanne Snake, significant lies and problematic. And then the people that are very loyal they've just left, stayed home, perhaps with dog, writer, and house. It's almost like the sane ones, the ones that are actually trustworthy, it's like they just stayed in their own little entourage. So you only got the crazies. So promoting craziness, I guess.
That's what I get. It's same old same. It's why show up? Because I get the King of Pentacles, Six of Wands, which these would be your important people that are there. However, with the Knight of Cups, image sake, Nine of Swords, worry sake, and Eight of Wands, talking sake, it's just a bunch of the same kind of talk, and it causes me anxiety because if I have to come and hear you talk one more time about how somebody's out to get me, but when you were president, you didn't do anything about it, it's the same record, and they're kind of tired of hearing it.
They're
You get
realizing they're being fueled.
Yes, the gaslight card. So it's, yeah, in the word of warning, Ace of Swords, somebody knows the truth. Somebody may be waking up a little bit, maybe 7 years too late, but waking up a little bit saying, I guess he lied the entire time, and they lied the entire. Now, mind you, they're still Republicans, and those people there are still drinking the bleach aid, but
I think it's so funny they call, liberals and Democrats woke. It's like, well, I'd hate to be dead or asleep like you guys are. Like, what's wrong with being alert and aware?
Like I was watching this clip from the Lincoln Project, and I guess it had the highlights of the crazies at CPAC. I guess the new thing is flushing babies down a toilet.
That's what they're doing now, or say others are doing now.
Yeah, because I mean, there was like in that 2-minute video, I think it said CPAC in 135 seconds. They kept saying flushing babies down toilets, flushing. Like, first of all, the hole in the toilet is this big. How are you going to flush a whole dang baby down the toilet?
They're probably alluding to the abortion pill. Yeah, that's probably what they're alluding to. But
they just have to make it sound worse. War on Christmas.
Yeah.
Instead of, because War on Christmas translates to Happy Holidays, and so therefore is a war on, like, they have to make everything so incendiary. So at the CPAC, apparently the Dawn is waging a war against Bush Republicans.
What?
So now here's what we have all been saying from the beginning, is they're eating each other. And so now Donald Trump has sort of turned them on each other. So now they have a literal divide. There's Trump Republicans and there's Bush Republicans. So in other words, MAGA versus GOP. So he said he was about to start bashing or coming after the Bush Republicans. So what I want to know is, how will that play out? Will that really get worse out here in these streets, or are they going to ignore him for the most part?
Who's waging war on the Bush Republicans?
Donald Trump is.
Oh, okay.
I have a follow-up question. It's really petty. Put it out of my mind for this question, though.
No, lucky girl is not with my shirts. I need one of them shirts. That was too funny. So, I mean, if he's eating the Bush Republicans, is he using ketchup, I wonder? I'm going to stop there.
He's going to lose some followers if he does that. The wealthy man better change his outlook on this, because there are supporters of the Bush presidency and the Bush platform, so to speak. So, weighing it out, feeling it out here. I think there's a lot that won't accept it, that will move on, and we'll see him as just being erratic. He better stick to Biden, because he is going to lose followers.
I get no. The Bush Republicans are in abundance. However, it's an opportunity for him to raise money. So, no, but never turn down a grift. You know?
I get the Fool and the Ten of Pentacles, so that's Donald and Republican Party for me. There's also something at stake as far as campaign and money too. The Knight of Pentacles, or Knight of Cups, I mean, in the Eight of Swords, the message is very, very, very trapped. This is not a good thing to do, but by all means, please do it. Because here in the word of warning is the Five of Cups. See, this is why you need a reader to follow you around, sir, instead of the person who gave you all the adulations while you were on the golf course to tell you your Hanes, your way looks nice on you today. You should have had somebody to tell you, don't do that. Stop that. Sit down. Be quiet. Something, because the Five of Cups is a regret. Five of Swords, Five of Wands. Which five don't I have? I don't have Five of Pentacles, which means poor. So I have all the other ones, though, that say conflict, bully, and regrets. This in particular fight that you're trying to pick is not a good one. But by all means, do carry on. What was your follow-up question, Jen?
Well, I'm going to be really petty. Michael Cohen said that Laura Trump was dumber than Eric Trump. And she focused.
How is that possible? How is that even possible? It's like
on the set of The Apprentice, all she could do was hold a boom mic. That was all she was good for, because she's dumber than Eric.
Why is she part of the crew? Don't you hire people?
But they had her speak at CPAC, and he was like, "Oh my God!" So if she's dumber than Eric, and Eric eats paste, what does Laura Trump eat?
She eats the powder.
If she's dumber than Eric, what does Laura Trump eat?
I don't even know what kind of card I need to pull for that.
Which deck to pull from? The food deck won't help you because paste isn't in there.
No, it's not in there.
He went on a rant about her, and I was rolling.
Oh gosh!
The wall liquor that eats wallpaper paste.
She eats super glue. That's not what this says, but it's something you would drink, but it's like a liquid. I'm gonna say super glue because I'm the Prince of Petty. Why would I say anything else? So super glue. There you go. That's why Trump doesn't know her name, because she can't talk. That's why.
I'm gonna say horse dung. Because it's sort of mysterious. Whatever it is, burdens her system. It's something that she has to bend over. She needs to be careful with her back with it. It's like taking a horse to water, right? It's horse dung.
Liquid horse.
Maybe she takes a horse ivermectin.
There you go. she eats worms. That's what
He takes deworming pills.
Which some people do. I mean, protein.
What'd you get, Becca?
I got the Scythe, the Mountain, and the Ship. So something for severe headaches that gives you the runs.
See, it's got something to do with dung.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going out on a limb here. Maybe she eats Visine. I mean, I don't know. But it's, like migraines from straining to look at something. So but it gives you the runs. So
she's got a migraine from straining to look at Eric eating paste.
She's getting a migraine from trying to think. Because between those two, they're sharing one whole half a brain cell, dude.
Well, speaking of eating,
Mike, look, I'm important.
we'll stay on the subject of eating. since the GOP is turning within and eating each other, another incident has occurred, apparently, that DeSantis sicked the police on a MAGA rally.
Was it a mass rally, or did they show up at
No, they were not a rally, but they were doing their rah parade somewhere.
The one that I saw, and I think I saw it on Midas Touch, and then
Yeah.
later on another one where he was holding a rally or something for his book, and a bunch of people showed up with Trump gear, and he kicked them out, and then he had to. So was it that one, or was there? One?
I don't remember. I just saw the headline and because that's not even the question part. I just wanted to mention that since they're still, he's now calling the police on the MAGA people. So I want to know, will this spread? Will you have other people? Because mind you, the GOP field right now has like 3 or 4 people in it, the Haley and the blah, blah, blah. So it's about to get very polluted. I did a reading on it, said that, and I believe that because it always does. So will other people, because apparently Nikki Haley criticized Donald Trump without saying his name, and then another person did it without saying the name, and then Pence did it without saying the name. And so will other people begin to take action against the MAGA? Not necessarily Trump, but just the MAGA in other places.
There have been a couple of Republicans that have come out complaining about MTG and her MAGA talk during hearings and stuff.
But why did y'all let her in the first place?
Put her on that committee.
Now y'all can't get rid of the stench. Now you get infighting and everything else.
And fishy kitty that can't get rid of the stench.
Is this gonna spread? I swear.
We said 6 months ago they would get pettier and pettier.
It didn't have to be like that.
It's funny though. I think it's funny, entertaining.
It will spread. Yeah, they're holding it close to their chest, but moving into action with backstabbing. It will spread far and wide, strong and powerful. Friends and foes, people they want out. Yeah, they're gonna be like kissing up to some, like congregating together, picking their clique. What clique do I belong to? And trying to get rid of the others. It leaves them wondering, like, what's going to happen to who divvies up the money, because they're all getting divided.
All right.
Yes, it's known that there is a desire to isolate him and the people that support him, but also for their own ambitions as well. So,
Yes, but there are 2 men here who are going to be very prominent in that too, around the country somewhere. But they are going to actually regret it in the public eye because I think they're going to get attacked in, the Dino or Reno or Rhino or whatever they call them, a Rhino Republican name only type thing. So they're going to get attacked, but it is still a action that I think in the long run they still need to take because you do need to make a stand, even though it's 7 years too late. But there is that they will definitely, with the 3 of Swords, they will definitely stab him in the back, because he's going to have a very hard time with the Chariot getting support, because they're going to start to do the backstabbing and the talking and the chatter, because they need to start now because we only got 2 years.
Johnny, is that a Tiro Marchetti deck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's pretty.
Oh, it's called the Marchetti Tarot too.
Okay.
It's my second favorite deck actually too.
I just love his artwork. I love his artwork.
Well, DeSantis called the police, just not on himself. He is trying to ban Democrats from Florida because there's this thing. I think, what was it called? The SB 1248 bill, SB 1248, the ultimate council bill, to where if you at some point supported slavery and voted for slavery and were the party of slavery, as the Democrats used to be, then you cannot be in government or in committees. And he's trying to ban Democrats because Democrats were once.
Sure, because we lived back in the 1800s.
So will he be successful? I forget the child's name.
It's interesting because on those MAGA posting places where they post comments, there were a bunch of them commenting, oh yeah, like that's going to hold up in the courts, freedom of speech and our voting rights and everything else. And some of them were admitting, okay, this is fascism. It's like, that's why I think they're starting to wake up a little bit. That's fascism. When you're trying to just outlaw the other party,
the whole party,
you're gonna have a whole bunch of independents voting the other way.
Sometimes I like the South. I like Southern people. I mean, they are not all DeSantis. I'm Southern. They're not all DeSantis. But sometimes you just want to cut the South off and just let it drift away to somebody else's country.
There are good people in the South, and there's a lot of states turning blue. So, what's funny, like there was one guy that commented, "Okay, if we don't stop doing what the Democrats are accusing of us of, then we're guilty of it because that's fascism."
Mm-hmm. Look at Mississippi, and yes, we'll read on that too.
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
They and it's anyway, we'll get there.
Class action lawsuit of some sort. What is this? The bouquet, the man, and the fish with these two, the public, and then this is money. He's right in the middle of it. So besides that bill is absolutely unconstitutional. You can't just go back 200 years and strip people of their constitutional right because you don't like Democrats. So some sort of class lawsuit where there's money. And also the money is going to come from the public on that one as well. So this would be like taxpayer money or money that comes from the public. So
yeah, you get the emotions running crazy and know this will not go through. Everybody's talking about it, for practical reasons. And he needs to lay low on this, but I get the details of the bill will be blocked or they may have to cut something out of it. But I'm with Becca, like there's going to be somebody coming forward with some kind of lawsuit and trying to bring this down, and the money will be there to pay for this lawsuit.
I just read, I think it was last week when we were on my channel, he's in the middle of 17 lawsuits against him that the taxpayers are paying for in Florida.
So he's running for president against Trump and he's competing in lawsuits.
Yeah.
I get the Ace of Pentacles in the Tower. There is an ending to that opportunity. It's not just an ending. The Tower is a crash down type of thing. This is something you never should have done in the first place. I forget the guy's name who proposed the bill, but here's the cautionary tale here. The Tower is preventable because if you would have paid more attention to when you started, you would have realized you were on the wrong foundation to begin with before you got all the way to the top. So you had the wrong agenda. Because remember, the Tower is built to penetrate the mysteries of God, which is unnecessary. You just pray and ask, hey, what do you know that I need to know? Type thing. You got to go through all this. And so it's a cautionary tale of be careful where you start. Pay attention to those details because that's going to hurt in the end. And this is what everything else says. Is because that's pretty much the failure. But everything else with the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords, there's something else coming this guy's way. Because the leader here is also burdened and trying to get out from under something with the Six of Swords. He will, I think, successfully move away from a lot of the turmoil, but he will take a whole lot of scars with him. Because the Six of Swords is a transition into calmer water, but you bring baggage with you. And so this is going to spell very bad for DeSantis, because it is going to ruin some sort of reputation or some sort of reputation, something he carries with him, but is going to be scarred too in the end. Because all of this, when it all adds up, it's complete, it's done, it's over with. But you do bring a lot of lessons if you choose to learn them. A lot of lessons with you. So I would say right now, get rid of it and pretend it never happened if you can.
I can't believe they would allow anyone in a state legislature or federal who doesn't understand Civics 101. Why would you write a bill that goes against the Constitution?
But Jenny, he knows. He went to Harvard and he went to Yale, I think. He's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. He's just doing it because he wants clout, even though there's no chance.
He's appealing to the base, but it's like even the base seems like this is against the Constitution.
But here's the thing: the base is less than a third of the country. The base is not going to get you into the White House as president, especially with all this crap you're dragging around.
So why are they still pandering to a base that's less than 30% of the?
You can't afford not to. Yeah,
the crazies have taken over the asylum at this point.
They're the loudest, and it's just like the story of Fox News basically admitting, or Rupert Murdoch basically admitting now that they're paid to lie. They're paid to weaponize the base and so forth and so forth. And one of the ladies on The View who used to work there, the Republican that they always have on the table, she said the bad part is that the viewers of Fox News will never hear this story. Because that's all they watch, and Fox News is not going to run, hey, we lied to you on purpose.
Yeah.
And it's coming up in the Dominion lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. But those people live in a little bubble. They don't see anything outside of that bubble. They don't go to CNN. They sure as hell don't watch MSNBC.
The only place they might see it is Twitter.
So, still here in the state of Florida, that's not the Sunshine State. What is it called?
The Sunshine State.
It is Sunshine State. Okay. Florida, state senator from Florida, Jason Burdeur, I don't know how to say his name, has issued a bill or submitted a bill called information dissemination, to where if you are a blogger, they want you to register with the state and tell the state who pays you. If you criticize DeSantis in the Florida government.
Does he have Putin on speed dial? Are they like BFFs or something?
He wants bloggers to submit to this, to register with the state. If a blogger posts a blog about an elected state official and receives or will receive compensation for that post, that blogger must register with the appropriate office within 5 days of the post, the legislation said. So he is trying to basically tamper down free speech, basically. Don't say anything bad about us or we'll come after you and your employer and all this.
Fascist.
Yes. So will that fly? Will that proceed? Will that be successful? Will he force the bloggers to register with the state?
So all the bloggers that are out of state, that aren't in your jurisdiction, blogging bad crap out of you, you're going to waste all your time trying to figure out if they're under an alias, who they are.
And I used to live in Florida.
Yeah, like we don't live in Florida.
I'm not a blogger, but I'm a vlogger with the V because it's a video. So would I would have to register as well? I mean, these things, mind you,
only if you live there.
None of these things were thought through, I'm pretty sure. They just don't want you to say mean things about them.
But here's my question. These authoritarian strongmen are very, very, very sensitive about anybody saying anything bad about them. But yet the snowflake Democrats, you don't see them cowering in the corner and crying.
And here's my thing: quit doing all the shite that people are criticizing you for. It's kind of simple. I mean, what's the point? It's so much easier to live a simple life. I keep saying.
He's got a hidden agenda about this one. I want to ask next why did he do this? There's a hidden agenda because he knows like this is going to move into court really quick and he's going to lose in court because it goes against freedom of speech. So, but he gets victory out of something else that he's trying to uphold. I want to ask, what's his agenda with this?
I get that thing is dead on arrival. Not going anywhere.
Yeah, there's some other reason he's putting it forward, like he's testing something.
I get the Ace of Pentacles and the Hermit. He is searching for the source. He is not really going after the blogger. He is trying to go after the engine behind the opinions. So these people can have the opinions, but he thinks it would tamper down if he was to get rid of their money or their finances or something like that. There's also something more on a national base that he wants to do. So maybe this is a test kitchen for something a little bigger.
For social
censoring. You know, don't say bad things about me. Because he's trying to burden the community for the future. So this is like down the road, they want this to be in other places to where they can add pressure to the Nine of Wands, to the bloggers, to the opinions, to the information that we don't like, type of thing. That way we can also start to get rid of ethics and ethics committees and things of that nature, which just do nothing but criticize. And so then we can do all the things we want to do, and you don't see it anymore the way the GOP used to be before Donald Trump came along.
Yeah, he wants to control social media. This is going to grow. This is a message. He's starting something. He wants to control social media, just like Republicans were controlling Fox and Fox controlling Republicans. He wants to be able to choose, what gets blocked and cut, and what can be posted that's supportive of his agenda.
Yeah.
He wants to take this to court. He wants to prove a point.
So we'll go from state to state here, from Florida to Mississippi. So Mississippi, House Bill 1020, basically the reinstating of Jim Crow. Will that go unchallenged? Will it be reversed? That's the question. Lord Jesus. Put a blanket on the rants. It's
in a state that's got a very heavy black population.
In the what is it, Jacksonville, the blackest city in the United States, with a black mayor at that, and he issued a statement basically calling it is what it is, type of thing.
It's like, why do these white people keep getting elected in that state?
And that's what the mayor was saying. Basically, you just want to make sure we don't vote anymore and we have no more rights. So
they would like to get segregation going again, I think.
Or just get rid of us altogether.
Can you believe it, YouTube? This is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, I'm not a newscaster.
I'm just reporting facts.
This is gossiping to you. It comes in the news.
They're going to start having lynchings again and stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's what they want. But this is why I'm preventing myself from going on tirades here, because this is beyond rants at this point. This is why local elections are very important, and I'll leave it at that.
And here's the irony of all this. This is a party that prides itself on being the party of Lincoln.
That freed the slaves.
Well, let's bring back lynching.
I think that's something they'll look at next. Surprisingly, they've got support for this, and it's very, very foolish. I think they may put it through, but then there's going to be all kinds of problems, and it's going to hit the courts with class action lawsuits, a lot of exposure on this and everything. But I think they'll vote it through. That's a yes card.
Will it be challenged? Yes, there's going to be something in the government that investigates what they're desiring to do. So I don't know if this would come from DOJ or what, because there's a difference between federal and state, but there's either this is the law or it's the government. So I don't know if this is in reference to like the ACLU or another legal organization that can investigate this, and it will be challenged.
It goes against all the civil rights legislation that
because it's
Lyndon
like
Johnson
this is saying
signed.
that this is law. This is law right here that's being manipulated for a certain type of desire, but it's also saying that the law stands, and there's an investigation either from the law or this legal body that investigates something very, very passionately. They're very passionate about their work. But it comes from here.
I said I think they'll pass it, but I do think it won't hold up in court. Once it gets to court, it won't hold.
I think it has passed.
Oh, it's already passed?
I believe so.
Because I was getting a yes on passing it.
I get that.
I get justice in 3 of Swords. So there's definitely a challenge to this because there's something. I know what I'm about to say. It sounds interesting, but it's something illegal about this. But there's like the loophole, the thing that you didn't close up, because the opponents of the bill basically are telling you this is Jim Crow, which is a pejorative term in itself. But the people who are in support of this are just saying we're putting in place a government that we like, basically. And so there is something to this to where the opposition can poke bigger holes in it and therefore deteriorate it and get rid of it. So it's not airtight, is what I'm saying, because there's a lot of chaos around it. And this is why I think this may even be more troublesome, because in a lot of instances, when people protest, they protest, but then at some point that's going to get out of hand. And so with the Knight of Swords comes the chaos. So they need to keep an eye on that, because that's the next thing heading its way. But yeah, there's an opportunity for support. This is not going to go unchallenged. So I'm leaving that there. Let's go to Missouri.
Wait a minute, I got a question on this.
Okay.
So you need your workers at companies to be happy, and when they're not happy, you're going to have all kinds of problems. And they're going to unionize and all kinds of things. Are states going to start telling some of these, or are companies going to start telling some of these states, we're not going to bring our company to your state with laws like that in place?
They did it to Mike Pence when he did that religious freedom bill garbage. And some tried to do it to Kemp in Georgia.
I think it'd be hysterical if Disney pulled out of Florida. That would
kill
them with all the tourism it brings and all the job loss that would bring. They'll never do it, I don't think, but I think it'd be hysterical if they did.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I say to that? Go ahead, pull the businesses out, and then all of you crazies can have your wet dream of seceding from the union, and then see how quickly you sink. And I give it a week. I get
a yes. The companies, trying to fight this, here in America, take a strong stance, I get a yes.
I get that there's been some private meetings. This is something that may take a long time, though. It's not going to happen next week, next month, 2 months from now. There's perhaps a lot of planning that needs to go into these projects, but there are private negotiations and private meetings about what is known that is happening in these very conservative lily white states, racism. So there's that.
If it's not safe for my gay workers and my Hispanic workers and my Black workers,
my female workers that can't even, it's
get
not
health care.
It's not like women are out getting abortions just because we have nothing else better to do. Sometimes it's a life-threatening thing, so.
Yeah, I get to that. It will. There's a 3 of Cups community, and then the Hangman. There's something about stalling or sacrifice. In the Emperor and the Justice with the 5 of Pentacles. So those in charge will exercise some sort of legal rights and cause some poverty and loss. The Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. This is going to actually, I think, happen over time. And so you're actually going to see this more and more. It's going to be sudden to them, which is odd because you should see this coming, but it's going to cause a major, major burden. The 4 of Cups is a reality you have to accept. And so you have the choice. You can say, you know what? I am Ron DeSantis and I am going to exert my power over Disney, and Disney can say, okay, then if we don't like it, we either wait him out or shut it down. Because he put the religious guy on your board that said that the estrogen in the water is turning all the people gay. So he now works for me.
The sad thing is, it's going to hurt the red states that are the poorest states in the country who need businesses to come into their states.
Yeah. They're not going to have anything. Nothing. But have at it, boss. Have at it. And then when you beat down on the gays and the Blacks and the transgenders and the women
and the Hispanics,
and your life is still crap, then maybe think about maybe that wasn't the problem. It's the people up top.
And when you only have your white people there left in your state and no businesses to support them, good luck finding anybody to work for you. Good luck.
Yeah.
This is why I will never. If you give me 2 free houses and $10 million, I will never go back to Mississippi. I don't care what. That whole state's got an ugly energy. It's going to stay that way. Stay out of Mississippi.
Florida's the same way, Johnny. Where I left that crap hole in 1998. The only time I went back was to get my mom out of that state when she got sick. I will never step foot in that place ever again. I hate it. It's gross.
That's why I say the South is not bad. Again, I'm Southern. It can't be all that bad. Unless you don't like me, then you probably think so. But it's not all bad. But sometimes you just want to cut it, just let it float away. Wherever it goes.
Outside of Miami and Southwest Florida and stuff, people drop the N-word like it's nothing. It's part of it. It's nothing.
I heard it more times in Florida than I ever did in Oklahoma.
And that's Florida.
Mm-hmm. And from people who didn't look like me, mind you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Johnny. Once people found out I was Hispanic, I got called the spick every single day of my life. Even though I look white. As soon as they found out I was Hispanic. I can't with the racism. It's disgusting.
Speaking of disgusting, Missouri and the House of Representatives there voted against a ban for underage people to carry guns in public places. And so, of course, the opponents of the bill are saying you basically have the ability for toddlers to walk around in a public place with a gun, because we did just have a shooting by a 6-year-old of that 6-year-old's teacher. So
let me just give a gun to little chaos, mayhem, and pandemonium, and guess what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys
see
what
I want to know is
with Jon Stewart and that guy? Did you guys see it?
Yeah. The Jon Stewart video is awesome. I posted it on my community tab.
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Sorry, Johnny.
I just wanted to know, Will the ban be put in place? We'll just say it, just yes, no. Will it be put in place? It was voted down, so it's not in place. But will it be put in place to where underage people cannot carry guns in public places?
Underage people cannot or can carry.
Right now, they can because they voted down the ban.
They need that in Alaska so they can.
That's the next place we're going on our trip through the U.S.
We'll get to that in a minute, guys.
That's on our road trip through the U.S. That's our next stop too.
Will they ban kids from
Jesus. Do you have that video
Of what?
of that man in Alaska?
I could find it from where I texted it.
What happened with the man in Alaska? I'm sorry.
That video we watched with the whole "let them die because it's cheaper for the U.S." type of thing.
Where even his other Republicans were like, "What did you say?
Don't say that out loud." That's what we talk about behind closed doors.
I'll pull it up. Let me go first on Missouri. It'll get blocked eventually because this agreement causes a lot of anxiety. You think when you got a toddler out there with a gun, you think it causes some anxiety? Yeah, I think so.
I get that it'll be challenged. It'll be perhaps changed or manipulated in some form, and the outcome is what is desired, but it's going to be challenged, fought over. So
I think it's a thing that goes on forever and ever and ever. So it probably depends on the administration here with the high priest, which is the Hierophant, the government card. It's something causes a lot of anxiety and a lot of emotions back and forth and that type of thing. But as far as the law goes, it's one of those things that's just going to be challenged over time, back and forth, depending on who the administration is. You can have a ban and the ban is lifted. You can have a ban and the ban is lifted, that type of thing. So right now, I don't see them trying to lift it, but like I said, it's a back and forth type of thing. Alaska State Representative David Eastman.
that's the guy that we saw in the video about the
He had a very interesting thing to say.
It's cheaper to let the foster kids die because it saves us money.
Yes, that guy.
Unalive children, but hey, no abortions because that's murder.
Not just foster children, but
Children,
family services won't be coming to your house if you're abusing your kids because it's cheaper to let them die.
Cheaper to let them die, but no on abortions. We're totally cool with killing the kid once it's out.
I caught myself so many times when I put out that maybe he was, but it's actually a benefit to society. Don't talk about it.
In the case where child abuse is fatal, obviously it's not good for the child, but it's actually a benefit to society because there aren't needed for government services and whatnot over the whole course of that child's life.
Through the chair, can you say that again? Did you say a benefit for society?
Talking dollars. Now you've got
Yes.
a $1.5 million price tag here for victims of fatal child abuse. It gets argued periodically that it's actually a cost savings because that child is not going to need any of those government services that they might otherwise, be entitled to receive and need based on, growing up in this type of environment.
Through the chair, Representative, I guess that would be the idea, if I can use a really bad analogy, when you hit somebody, always back up because it's cheaper to insurance. I don't pertain to that, and I'm really... I'm not even sure how to answer that there's a cost saving to the death of a child. The impact that has on a family and us as a society when a child is lost, especially to child abuse and neglect, is unmeasurable. And it's hugely tragic.
And follow up. And the way that you're calculating this 1.5 million, and when I say you, I mean the people who did calculate it, does that 1.5 million get higher or lower depending upon the age at which the child is killed?
Kill them early.
So again, there's multiple factors, and a number can definitely increase, but again, I don't believe it's going to matter if they're older or younger. Again, a loss of a child is really unmeasurable.
Okay, let's make a new rule here, if I can.
So if
Yep.
your child is a victim of child abuse and they die, it's okay because it saves the state money because they wouldn't have had to pay for that child for the rest of its life or public benefits and that type. So it's not a bad thing.
It's totally
State representative he
And if
is,
they die younger, then we save more money.
we save more money.
So make sure they die at 3, not 7, you know.
But don't get an abortion because that's murder.
Don't get an abortion now. But beat your kid to death, go ahead. Like this is why the pro-birth yes, pro-life no.
Nope.
Like you cannot possibly be pro-life when you don't want a kid to have a free lunch at school, and then when they go home they can be beaten and killed, and that's okay because it saves the state money.
You can't be pro-life with forcing a person to give birth and being okay when that child goes to school and gets gunned down.
When even his own Republican counterparts are like, excuse me, are you saying blah, blah, blah? You know it's bad.
The only question I had there was, what is his political future?
And is he related to Alex Murdoch?
I mean, he probably is paying his legal bills.
What is David Eastman's political future? That was on Midas Touch channel, by the way, last Sunday. If y'all want to see the video, the guy with the white beard and wears a bandana do-rag. On Midas Touch, talking about it. I just can't believe he had the nerve to even say that out loud.
Out loud. Like, do you not hear yourself back?
It's bad enough if you're thinking that, but you actually said it out loud in a hearing and asked
To other people.
about it. How much can I save? You know, based on at what age they die.
The new kind of Geico, I guess. What is okay? I mean,
Oh, he thinks he's just hot stuff. He just thinks he is hot stuff. He's like, look at me. That was treacherous. That will burden the crap out of him. That got everybody emotional. People walking away from him in the next election. Yeah, but what's interesting is he might be stupid enough to run for the White House or something one day. You know, he's got higher aspirations with work. Yeah,
Here's an idea. Go be a Trump aide, okay? Because clearly you're missing something between the ears. I get his political future. It's over. The public is very like, what the F with the clouds here about
Lord.
the news that just came out about the deaths. So the constituents are uncertain. It dies here because of what he said, the trouble with what he said.
But if he dies younger, do we save more of our sanity?
How long has he been in office? If he dies soon, if he gets unalived soon, are we able to save money so we don't have to pay his pension? You know, like, come on now.
there is something about
This is only YouTube.
the Page of Pentacles and ending of the Page of Pentacles that he talked about. That is what causes a lot of worry for his political future, his dreams, goals, aspirations. The Wheel of Fortune and the Word of Warning, over time it gets worse, because I think this is probably the tip of his faux pas iceberg, because he gets the Fool here too. He doesn't listen.
He
You know
didn't
what?
read the room that day, so he will keep regurgitating awful stuff.
I'm not going to say that he's not paying attention to what he's saying. If this is in here, it's going to come out of here. And so that's what he meant to say. Thank you, Barbara. That's what he meant to say. So, I mean, I can't even say, oh, he made a faux pas. No, that's what he wanted to say. Because he said it carefully, mind you. He didn't just come out and say, if all the kids died, we save money. He was like, anyway. But the Four of Pentacles, it shrinks and he becomes fearful of his future.
And he said it like more than once, Johnny. Was it 2 or 3 times?
And then went on to make the point, well, but if they go sooner, do we save more?
Sooner than.
Because, entitlements.
He's probably got charts and graphs in his house and everything else. Mm-hmm. A whole PowerPoint presentation about the benefits.
It's like, well, why don't you just take them out and do your own little Holocaust, and then we can lock your ass up
forever, please and thank you. Well, speaking of being locked up, he is now free, but Michael Cohen wants his law license back.
Yes.
So will it happen?
Says he's going to go for it. While he's suing the Don and the bar.
Will he get it back?
I also posted on my community post last week a conversation between him and Love that was really interesting. If y'all didn't see that, go to my community post. You can find it. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Mountain Dancer. I wasn't sure once you had a felony on record that he pled guilty to if he could even try to get it back.
I say leave it be. I mean, that's your career, though. So, I mean, you kind of have to try to go for it. But
well, I think he's suing the U.S. government, too, because of wrongful stuff that was done in his case. I think he might get it. There may be a woman helping him. Maybe it's Letitia James or somebody. Helping him, but I think the details and everything. I got the card of healing here. Whoever's in charge and an agreement and celebration and Sun card. I think he might get his license back. Wow, that surprised me.
I guess that is going to be a long time before. The lilies here with the anchor, those are 2 very long time cards. And with the birds here, this could be negotiations. So the beginnings of the negotiations, perhaps also trying, because this card also has to deal with your character, establishing a very good character because of his testimony, what he said during interviews. But either way, it's going to be a while. I wouldn't expect this to happen anytime soon. So,
yeah, I get the 9 of Cups first card and the 4 of Pentacles second card. So that thing he wishes and desires for is very hard to obtain because it's kind of under lock and key at the moment. But in your word of warning is a 7 of Swords. Your sneakiness, your bulliness, your betrayal, because mind you, Michael Cohen was not the nicest of persons. So he didn't land in jail because he stole a pack of bubble gum. So there is all of this. I was reading a story too, how one of them award shows, Mark Wahlberg, he wants to be a police officer or like one of the, what do you call it? Like, it's not a volunteer, but it's like a person who does like weekend shifts or something like that. He wanted to be a police. Yes.
Mark.
Yes. And on his record is a felony and a violation of his probation because when he was a child, he assaulted a man. First of all, his probation was because he was throwing rocks at some black kids when he was a child or younger, I should say. And calling them names and all that type of stuff. So probation. Then he violated that probation because he assaulted an Asian man and called him racist names too, and then blinded that Asian man. And so that all of that is still on his record, and he wanted it off of his record, but he was denied. And so you teach this to your kids that, you know, you have to learn to fall down and all that stuff. I understand. But sometimes you only get one chance to make the worst mistake ever. And so he was one of the people who went down because he rode ship Trump. And that is going to be a burden for him forever and ever and ever. But here in the end, I got the Four of Cups, which are Four Wands, which told me yes. And I'm like, okay, why? And then the Nine of Wands, there it is. Nine of Wands came out because this is going to take a really long time. But I think ultimately, in the long run, he will be successful. So there may need to be some different people at different times making that decision, but.
And perhaps people in higher offices pulling the strings or giving a good word of mouth on his behalf, like Letitia James, the FBI, whoever else he worked with and
cooperated with.
He's helping everybody.
You know, but.
Well, let's go here. No, let's not go there. Okay. Let's go here.
You're driving the bus, Johnny.
Actually, you know what? Can we? Okay, let's sit in petty land a little bit longer on this bus. We'll pull over to the side of the road, have mojitos right now. Don't drink and drive.
Cheers.
My Pillow. What's the child name?
Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell. I almost called him Mike Fish for some reason. Mike Lindell. I don't know.
Does he
My family renames people. We do that a lot. Mike Lindell is upset with Tucker Carlson getting the January 6 tapes, and he is threatening to sue. Now I was going to say Paul McCarthy.
Because his own media company.
McCarthy. Whatever the child's first name is. He was threatening to sue McCarthy. So what's going to happen there?
Pillow Guy is threatening to sue Kevin McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't get a copy of the January 6th
Because you could be crazy, but I need you to be my kind of crazy. And
you
so
need to give to me and everybody else.
He is threatening him with a lawsuit. Will it happen? What's going to happen with that? Will he just let it go eventually, or what?
Well, they may get a lawsuit from other news agencies also, because you can't release stuff like that to only one news agency. It's got to become public domain or not at all.
First of all, why y'all buy so many of them pillows? He's got way too much money.
He's their number one advertiser on the Fox News.
He's criticizing Fox now too. So I wonder if he's going to pull his money away too.
He's criticizing everybody because he wants attention.
Tina Peters is going to be sentenced pretty soon. That was the woman he gave all that money to.
Wait, which one was Tina Peters?
The one in Colorado or somewhere that.
Was she a fake elector, or was she the one?
She was the county clerk, and so she was doing that whole scheme. And he gave her like $800,000 when the limit is like $1,500 or something.
That was the lady that gave him the machines and everybody's information.
I believe so. Now, mind you, she's getting sentenced for something different. Like it was, I forget what it was. But yeah, she's about to get sentenced because she just tried to appeal that and it didn't work.
I hope that $800,000 was worth it, lady. These people.
These cards, Lord.
Will he sue Kevin McCarthy? Lilies, clouds, and snake. If he does, he's going to run into a crap ton of problems, and he's going to be very, very sorry that he did. Not that I'm standing up for McCarthy, but this right here is sorrow. This is trouble and lies and betrayal. So,
I get to know, like, he doesn't do it out in the cold from that, what's hidden from him. But I get there's an exposure on this evidence, these tapes. And I feel like an abundance, a whole bunch of other media companies are going to come together and go after them. And they're going to end up being offered to everybody. So I get the Sword of Truth and the Ace of Cups. It's going to, there's other media companies that are going to bully to get this. So,
oh, they've already started that, Jen. The minute that it was revealed that he gave all the tapes to Tucker Carlson, all the other news outlets were like, hey,
Freedom of Information Act.
We want that too.
Mm-hmm. The Devil in the Tower. First two cards. This is so. Will he sue him? I think ultimately no. Or if he does, this is not a good idea. It would be ill-advised. But as I said before, feel free to proceed. Go right ahead. But it would be ill-advised. You got every bad card I could possibly pull. The Ten of Swords, the Tower, the Devil, the Five of Cups, and the Five of Wands. Don't do it. Run, Forrest, run. But at the same time, please proceed. Gives me something to read on.
These people, I swear.
We just don't run out of material with them.
You can't. There it is. Obstruction of government operations. That's what Tina Peters was convicted on, which I believe is a felony. And so
she was accused of secretly videotaping a court proceeding and then lying to a judge about it.
She's
So
work.
So this isn't even, so she's being sentenced for not even what she helped Mike Lindell do? Ooh, girl.
Well, speaking of sentence, hopefully one day, Rupert Murdoch and the Fox Noise engine that he runs over there might be in violation of campaign finance.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what's going to happen with that. Because they were building opposition research, and
they are already turned it into the Federal Elections Committee to investigate. Gave it to Kushner.
Mike Lindell has all those pillows to build a pillow fort. I believe you. He's sitting behind it with his aluminum foil hat on. And he says he doesn't do cocaine anymore, right?
While he weighs stuffing in his pillows, he just snorts a pillow a night.
Every time he sleeps, he breathes in just a little bit.
A little pillow.
Micro dose. That's a shame.
I can't remember. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, one of the late night shows, or maybe it was SNL. I can't remember. They had a sketch about Mike Lindell, and they had Mike Lindell, and they had drawn a lady's face on a pillow that he was holding and called her Philomena, his wife.
Philomena.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I don't know.
I started thinking about Philomena and I lost focus on the
what's going to happen with the campaign finance violation?
Fox and Kushner and campaign finance.
There, Karen got our back. She wrote.
Karen.
We get a little off track sometimes.
Philomena got me sidetracked.
Philomena. What'd you get, Becca?
Nothing. Perhaps maybe a fine, but there is a very swift and sudden loss to a woman that is very established there. That she very established, and she's very important in a sense. So I don't know if this is a CEO or a producer or what, but there's a sudden loss to this woman in particular. So I don't know, besides Rupert Murdoch and the idiots on TV, I don't know who this woman is. She's a person that makes decisions, though, and she makes very important decisions with Scythe and Key. But there's a very sudden loss for her. So.
Yeah, I get victory on this, causing Fox a lot of sleepless nights and tower moments here. Strong case coming in, and they're tampering, meddling with the election. I think there's a very good chance that they're going to find something, if not nothing else.
But what's sad about the whole thing, like we were talking earlier, the viewers are not going to know any of this.
Uh-uh.
They're in that whole little, what do they call it? The echo chamber where they're just programmed to just, this is reality right here. Everything
The only
else.
thing they'll know is when suddenly, if Murdoch needs a scapegoat and he fires somebody like, Sean Hannity, who seems to be.
I think we got that a while ago, that we will be losing some of the hosts. Well, we will be.
Yeah.
We will be losing some of the host of Fake Noise.
Mhm.
I got what both of you got. There's some truth. There's some coming out. There's the 7 swords here. Some truth about thievery and sneakery and liery. That's coming out. In the end is defeat 5 of swords. But I got the woman. There's loss. I didn't get swift. It wouldn't get sudden because Tower is more sudden, but it's very chaotic loss. Like it's not something she can control. It like comes at her in a wave type. This is the bull in the china shop. You just have to step out of the way and watch the damage happen. And so some woman here is going to lose a whole lot. Could be someone very, well, she's very powerful, but she's more prim, proper, might be blonde, cares a whole lot about how she looks, that type of thing with the Queen of Cups.
Bye-bye, Ingraham.
3 of Swords too, word of warning. So
they're saying in the chat, Susan Scott is the CEO of Fox Media.
well,
Like I said, I don't know who that woman is, but it was a woman that, a very important woman that makes very important decisions. She doesn't speak. I didn't get the
Susan
birds.
Scott.
I didn't get the birds or the stars or the moon to say that it's a celebrity. It's a woman that makes very important decisions.
Wait, let me do it again.
She is blonde.
Susan Scott, Fox News. Oh, that's her. That's probably her.
Mm-hmm.
Cares a whole lot about how she looks. Blonde woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be any of them because they kind of typecast those people. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you can't look real different. You don't
But,
see
I mean-
nobody with ever dreadlocks. So.
Janine Pirro.
Person to take the fall because she was technically supposed to be managing the company when they were doing all that, so hope the lies were worth it, lady.
Speaking of lies, can we visit the Prince of Lies, the POL? I almost called him DeSantis. I always call him DeSantis and then the other one Santos. Santos.
Oh God, what did he do now?
He is being investigated by the House Ethics Committee.
Woo!
And so what I want to know is, does that matter? Because it is still a Republican House. So does it matter? Will anything come out of that to where he has a consequence to pay? Or is this just for show?
They're gonna let the Dems be the fall guys on it. You watch. Like they won't have the backbone to tell them to go, but they'll let the Dems tell them to go. Your little chickens.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah, I get the manipulator, they're gonna separate. He's gonna try to hang on through all this though. Yeah, he's gonna try to fight his way, but I get separating him out. He's got the tower on him. So I think they'll kick him out. But the Republicans are worried about this, so it wouldn't surprise me if they get a Dem to do it. You tell him. No, you tell him.
hire me, I'll tell him. Get him one of those greeting cards that play the music when you open it and like do the what you call Ray Charles hit the road jack. Put that in there, and then there you go. That's all you got to say.
Hit the road, Jack, Katerina, George, Anthony, whatever your name is.
What you get, man?
Oh, I did a double line of 5. The top is quick and dirty. It's talking about the success and the commitment of the House Ethics Committee. It stars House, Clover, Ring, and Lilies. That committee is they're committed to it, and they're doing the ethics here with the Lilies about purity and virtue and all that good stuff. The bottom line, though, is whip, heart, key, mice, and letter. This ain't gonna be good. This is not gonna be good. They're very passionate about their criticisms, and there is evidence of criminality and thievery. There may be a referral from the ethics committee that comes in with Lilies and letter. So some sort of referral. But there's also something that is very vast here, very vast and expansive. Also, with these two as a thing, this could be social media posts, emails, stuff that was done online as well. But the ethics committee comes back with a lot of criticism, and then there is a continuation here of corrupt practices and thievery with the ring and mice. So let me see, 1, 2. So yeah, this ain't gonna look good ultimate, but it takes time. It's not something that with this right here, this is gonna take time. So that's what I get.
I get same thing. There's some success or victory within a legal proceeding here with the 6 of Wands and the Justice card. I don't get that he has necessarily a tower moment. I get that the investigation breaks something open and it creates an opportunity. So I don't think that this in particular entity is going to like throw him under the bus or under the jail, I should say. But they are going to create an opportunity for something else to happen. And so that's what I get. But it is actually going to yield the result because I don't think they want him there anymore because he looks bad. That's all.
He's making them all look bad. And then you got all the other newly elected New York Republicans that are like, get this guy out of here. You're going to make us lose our next election. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of losing, Kellyanne Conway is getting a divorce from Georgianne Conway.
I thought they started that like back in 2020. I thought they were breaking up.
That's one question that I have, but to just draw her in even more, Michael Cohen said that she played a small role in the Stormy Daniels payment.
Ooh, what?
Yes, how? I don't know. But she played a small role, is what he said.
Because he let her know the deed is done. Like I made the payment. Pass it along to your
is there
mom.
going to be any blowback to her because of that?
Everybody's asking about the kitties. They are sacked out in a row on the sofa over here, just completely zonked out. I could wake them up like that if I open up the tin with the cat treats in it here in a little bit. At the end of the video, I'll pop it open. They look like nesting dolls. And maybe it's just that we had read on, will they get divorced and had gotten a yes. Maybe that's what I'm remembering. But
And then remember what her daughter was doing too, like throwing both parents under the bus.
I think it was MTG's divorce we were reading on.
But a long time ago, we had read back when Kellyanne Conway was still, when the Trump presidency was still ongoing, we had read on them. I think it was after her daughter started posting all that stuff. So this was a few years ago.
She's going to be in trouble in the courts. It's like something is going to grow from this hush money payment. There's like an investigation, and then I get her having to appear in the courts in front of the judge, little blonde Kellyanne. And I get a yes. Yep, there's a big yes. She's gonna whistle blow though. She's gonna tell what she knows.
I asked if he would be implicated in the Stormy Daniels payoff. I get a no. Like the obstacles and the delays are being diminished, and there's some sort of criticism here or some sort of abuse, but her personally being implicated, no. Mm-mm.
What I want to know, because my reading is, I think, addressing that. The next question is, will her divorce remain mess-free? Because right now they are amicably divorcing. Will it remain that way? Because I didn't get anything about monies and payments and things. There's a burden around the family, like a huge, huge burden. And it has something to do with the woman and a child too fighting. They're going back and forth, tooth and nail type thing. There's collaborations with the King of Wands too, or King of Wands who has a professional collaboration. So I don't know for absolute sure that Donald Trump caused a rift between them two that was beyond repair, but him and the Lincoln Project and then her and the administration, I don't think did them any favors, because this is a professional collaboration that he was involved in that is causing the burden within the family. And then the child is there too with all the fighting and the this and the that. And the devil and the world, this problem grew and grew and grew. And then the legacy is what suffered with the 10 of Pentacles and the word of warning. Something happened I think, in the middle, in those last 5 years that broke it, and it was beyond repair, is what I think.
Yeah, it's going to come down to money and lifestyle, because I get a change in lifestyle here. It's like they're manipulating each other, and I think at the root of this is Kellyanne doing a lot of manipulation and heartbreak and very emotional. No chance of healing. Healing's behind them. No chance of healing. But I get a big change in lifestyle. I think the child who is probably almost 18 now, I think, will be hearing a lot from. So either posting on Twitter or something and celebrating for her dad. So I get her dad actually has the strength through this. The family is just completely burdened. It's going to get messy. It's going to get, because there's greed involved here. It's going to get messy.
I get that. It all revolves around satisfying the needs of a child. I don't know how old their kids are, if they have a younger child, and I don't know. But it's Lily's child and Bouquet. So they're going to try to keep it peaceful, but it's like, it's all for a child here, but it's to satisfy something here with a child. So, but I don't get any money cards. So it's not like child support or anything like that. It's something to satisfy a child or keep the child happy, or see what I'm saying? So,
she has 4 children. They're saying in chat.
I don't know which one's the youngest, but there's a younger one there. So with Lilies and Child, that could be an older child and Bouquet. That's a happy child. But then all 3 were pip cards. So King of Spades, Jack of Hearts, and Queen of Hearts. So I don't know. And 2 daughters. Wait, hold on. Conways have 4. 2 older kids, son and daughter, twins, and 2 daughters after. Well, I don't know.
So let's go back into Santos for a second, because I had a little story.
Oh.
Gustavo Ribeiro Trilha, I guess is how you would say his last name. I don't know. He was living with, I always want to call him DeSantis. So if I say DeSantis in this right now, you know I mean Santos. He was living with Santos in Seattle. Or he was in Seattle in a hotel. and he was found in Seattle. This guy was arrested in Seattle. He lived with Santos in Florida, though. This guy was planting those skimming devices on the card machines and the card readers. He was planting those things all around,
like at gas stations and stuff.
Mhm.
But the materials and all that stuff was being shipped to that address in Florida where Santos and he lived. Now, right now, Santos is not a target of the investigation. But what I want to know is he or was he involved in this scheme? Was he involved in the card skimmer scheme? Just fall all over the place. What hasn't he done? God, no.
This guy, dude, it's like, dude, you could have gotten away with everything had you not run for office and put a big old spotlight on your head with your freaking ridiculous background of criminality. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Oh my God. Was he involved? Yes. Something here about institutions with money that he knew about and was keeping secrets. So this could be like a bank. This right here would be like something more like a laptop. So perhaps he had some sort of a laptop with the numbers from the banks, routing numbers, checking account numbers, that sort of thing. But was he involved? Yes, he had knowledge of it. And he also worked on the project. So
I get yes too. Like he's going to be defending himself right on the bottom. He was collaborating with them. There was an abundance of business they were getting off of this. A lot. There's a yes card, and he's got the tower on him in an investigation on this. So I think it'll come out. Yeah, I hope you never can sleep. You know, dude, you should never be able to put your head on a my pillow and conk out and go to sleep easy.
And the crazy thing about it is he shows no remorse. None.
He's a sociopath.
I get yes. 7 of Swords. There's your sneaky, your thief, blah, blah, blah. The 6 of Wands, yes. And not just involved, but he may have been integral to this actually happening, because you get the Emperor and the Knight of Wands, someone in charge of moving something around as well. And then you got the 8 of Swords there in the middle. Yes, he was definitely involved.
George Santos invented the tower card. Here we go with all the things. He was the waiter at the Last Supper.
Yeah, the waiter at the Last Supper. He helped Jesus carry the cross.
He helped Jesus carry the cross. Lord have mercy.
Y'all killed me.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, there is a development. Actually, let's go here first. Dominion is suing Fox for everything, including their dirty draws. They want all the money. It's $1 billion. But we have to remember, too, because this kind of gets skirted over. Smartmatic is also suing Fox for $2.7 billion.
Yes.
So, I just want to do a little check up and see.
We haven't even seen Discovery on that case yet.
Could they use the Discovery from Dominion on Smartmatic?
I think that's why this story is now getting so much more steam, is because the Dominion case is yielding so much fruit to where now it's going to help Smartmatic as well. So I kind of want to know, is Smartmatic also going to win their suit against Fox News?
Because it's public knowledge now. It's like all they got to do is say, you know what, we need those records that they gave to Dominion.
And I'm sure somebody would help them out with that.
There's probable cause here.
And while, yes, Fox News going away doesn't mean propaganda TV dies. But it would be so awesome if they just went away forever. At least that leg of that echo chamber, that leg of propaganda TV. And yes, OANN, and it'll be replaced, and Alex Jones is still alive. But I still want to see them fizzle and burn. It would be fantastic.
The best possible way to do that is to have Elon Musk buy it, because as we learned, Elon Musk can destroy your company in 2 weeks.
The company killer.
But what I would hope to see an outcome of this is that perhaps this will temper them into so blatantly spewing so many lies.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I get you're going to spin the narrative, but the lie part is what
knowingly lying. So between those two, they're looking at what, 5 billion dollar lawsuits. That's a lot of money. So maybe they'll do some thinking in one of those board meetings and be like, "Yo, we got to temper down." Yes,
I get Dominion, ditto Dominion. Is what Smartmatic's going to say in court, and I rest my case. And Victory, they get the money. They're screwed. They are so screwed. So sorry, Fox.
I'm not sorry.
I was
Lucky Girl. It's called Tower Takeover. Every card is actually the tower, and like the magician, they put the magician in the tower. So every card is the tower. Will he win? I do get the World, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Wands. There is something about the successful completion, but still needing to go to court because you got appeals and are you going to get your money, or it's a bunch of crap afterwards, but you do have some sort of good luck with completing with those there. So speaking of luck with lawsuits, the police, the Capitol Police, can sue Donald Trump in a civil suit.
Good.
Judge gave them the go-ahead.
So will they do it? And if they will they be successful?
Well, they're showing right now on MSNBT everything they're investigating Santos for conflict of interest, his sexual harassment, as well as unlawful things he did during his campaign.
The graffiti on 8th Street.
You need to look at his whole life because he's a mess.
Yeah.
Don't just look at the last year. Look at his whole life.
Mm-hmm. He killed Lincoln, I'm pretty sure. He was there. He was definitely a witness. I got confirmation on that.
What was our question?
Will the police?
Please, I just saw Karen Conroy's posting of it. Thank you again, Karen. Keep me on track tonight. Well, my judge card and my son card coming out together here. Yes, it's just a matter of time. Strong cases, so there may be like a class action case or something. Yeah, abundance of payouts. Civil cases.
So I got the crossroads, the whip, and the writer. So you have the multiple people there that visited that were angry and fighting and violent. Okay. New delays and small obstacles. We all know this is Trump's MO. Delay. So it's going to be delayed while he sits comfortably. So it doesn't look like it moves very quickly because it's showing that this movement here is blocked and delayed while he's over here golfing. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and I asked about the outcome to the lawsuit from Capitol Police for Donald Trump. There's a delay. Not saying that this is insurmountable. It's just obstructions, delays, blockages, that sort of thing. But it's not permanent. So
I hope they get some pro bono lawyers that'll take it on for them and not charge them an arm and a leg.
and you would think, would they be able to use evidence from the committee, or is that too much of a crossover? Because
they probably could, as well as evidence that's come up in court cases, like with the Peanut Butter Boys and Oath Creepers.
Yeah, you would think, because it's like, sorry, Johnny.
No, go right ahead.
I'm done. I'll shut up.
There's a man here. I get at least one person, Will. Dark haired man, possibly. The Four of Swords, though. This is not the rocket ship to the moon type thing. This is going to take some time because it ends in the Six of Swords. Trouble transition, slow transition. You get there, but it's going to take a minute. And that ran through my mind too, is lawyer fees. Because there is something about hearing the paying out in an officer of some sort. So I don't know that whole dynamic, but hopefully they can endure, because you have victory in the end. Here, there is something about skewering the devil. So you have the Ten of Swords in the shadow side, so which is the devil card here. But if you can pull your opposites together, you have the Chariot. Chariot is victory. So you have a clear path, but it goes through the molasses. It's very slow, because that's his MO. He has to do things slow and try to stall and these type of things. But if you keep going and stay encouraged, you will win in the end.
And hopefully you get a judge that's like, get your orange ass in here, sit on that chair for deposition. You ain't running. You're not using the law system or the courts to keep screwing people over to where. And because he has the money and means to do it, he usually keeps delaying, and that racks up people's bills. So, it's like, I hope the judge that gets this case, and it should be in DC, correct, Johnny? Because that's where it happened, correct? So hopefully the judge is like, you brought that crap here, you're going to clean it up. So.
And hopefully the other cases yield more results too that they can use for their civil case, especially with that judge who tied Donald Trump to the insurrection. That was the only judge to have done it so far.
But they've also had the criminal sedition, criminal conspiracy charges with those creepers that went through.
Because it was a lady, I think, that's saying that she was under the influence of Donald Trump, under the instruction of Donald Trump to be there. And then the judge says, well, that's her defense, and her defense seems fine for her. It holds up. So he instructed you to be here. Therefore, this kind of happened because of his instructions. And so we'll see.
This is, I can see why the judge used that. I really can. But you can't tell me these mother suckers are going to sit there and be like, well, Joe Biden told me to come storm the Capitol, because Joe Biden ain't your president, according to you. So, but okay. I can see where she was going with that, but.
But I totally agree, because it's the whole philosophy that if they told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it, type of thing. So just because they told you to come down here doesn't mean anything.
Johnny, he told them to drink bleach, and they did. So.
You know what? So never mind. Yes, they did. They sure did. Poison control was like, you did what again?
Who told you to do that?
Was your inside stained and you thought that this was going to unstain them? Well, you could have got you a Tide pen. It might have tasted better.
Oh my God.
God, dog. I can't.
Calling poison control because you ingested bleach, and meanwhile you have a GE bulb stuck up your butt.
But here's my thing too. Why are you calling poison control? Because if you call poison control, that gives me the mindset that you believed that this is poisonous.
But Johnny,
if you thought it was poisonous, what you drink it for in the first place? With your stupid
self. If you drink it, you deserve to die at that point. If you're that stupid.
But this is the thing: none of these morons ever went and looked at a bottle of bleach and thought, that looks like something I should drink in case I ever get sick.
Break out the ice.
They never had that idea until an orange Mussolini put it in their heads. Like,
oh my God, have mercy, Jesus. I'm gonna eat this piece of Palo Santo and be surprised I got splinters in my throat. What's wrong with y'all? Oh, who raised you, Jesus? I don't understand. Who raised you? Okay.
Yeah, none of them. You didn't see Trump on TV showing you how to do it.
you know what?
The jihad, go blow yourself up. I don't
You
want to do
did
it.
see Joe Biden and Kamala Harris getting a vaccine on TV, but you didn't see Trump drinking bleach on TV.
I just watched this thing. I forget where it was, if it was David Pakman or where, but they were going around talking to all these Trump supporters, going to rallies, and they were trying to convince these people or like talk to them if they'd gotten their shots, and they're like, no. And they're telling them, Donald Trump said to get your shot. He said that he got the shot, and they're like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. It's like, even with him telling them, he's gaslighted them so much that even when he says it, they still don't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
That's just sad.
And didn't he get booed when he said, go get vaccinated? Yeah. Donald Trump got booed by his own people.
For telling them to get vaccinated. After he almost died. Welcome to the Twilight Zone, people. Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Well, speaking of boo, did old girl what's her real name? Y'all told me in the chat the last time. Nikki Haley. She got her first name is not Nikki.
No.
Did she get booed at the CPAC?
Did she go to CPAC?
She went. I think she got booed. Did y'all tell me in the comments if she got booed? Because
I think she did.
Dang. Yeah.
Okay. I want to know because she's running for presidente. And back in the day when Biden and Trump were the candidates, she says she was not going to run against Trump. She was going to vote for him and support him. Now is not her time. She was on video saying this, but now he's running and she's running too, and then she gets booed. So I want to know what was running through her mind while the MAGA was not in support of her.
When you got crazy booing you, run.
I mean, these are not your people.
They're all saying yes. She got booed in the chat.
What was running through her mind?
Got it. Booed and heckled.
I mean, it's kind of like Caitlyn Jenner when she took her stupid behind down to the CPAC. Those are not your people. I understand what you
not
think.
Your tribe.
It's like, and absolutely zero Nimarata. That's what her name is. Zero disrespect to the trans community whatsoever, but Caitlyn Jenner is still a white man stuck in women's clothing, if you ask me. And so he thought he was going to go down there to the CPAC and everything was going to be okay, not realizing what you look like out here. It's kind of like if you got your bra on the outside of your shirt and you don't know, but everybody else do.
She's a brown girl from a foreign country whose supporters can't pronounce her first name if they tried. And somehow you're going to get the racist white vote to vote for you. Okay.
My name is, what's the name? Nimarata. My name is Nimarata, and I think that you're going to vote for me.
Mm-hmm. I am everything you hate. I'm brown. I'm a woman. I am a foreigner. But I got me a good old country accent that I worked a real long time to cultivate.
You're going to vote for me because why?
Because I think you're just that stupid that you ain't going to look any further than what I sound like right here.
No joking. I think she thought they might have done her in. She knew she was out in the cold and that they were bullying her, and that they're still stuck with Trump. She's hoping that when justice goes after Trump, that will cause a lot of chaos and everything, and she can get to higher ground then.
Good
when
luck with
Justice
that.
Department goes after Trump.
Your name is still Nimarata. Nobody gonna vote for you, girl. I get she was all happy and celebratory and happy because of her fame and the spotlight, and then it all got diminished and taken away. So what was she thinking? I'm so cool. I get to go to CPAC. I get to, market my agenda. And then, no, negative.
You're the token woman on the stage.
In a brown one.
And kind of like, what's that one guy's name? The only black senator in the Republican Party. What's his name? The Uncle Tom. And I'm sorry to use such a horrible thing, but you know who I'm talking about. The only black Republican senator. He's running for president as well. It's like, homeboy, you black, brother. You're over here batting for the team that only likes the whites.
What's the black guy's name that ran the last time, and then he went to a Trump rally and got COVID and died?
Oh my gosh, that was the 999 guy. What was his
Grandfather's Pizza guy.
John Stewart was always cracking jokes on him. I can't think of his name. It's
the chat will tell you they know everything. I told you.
He ran for president. He was going off when he ran for president.
Tim
I remember
Scott.
Tim Scott's the black.
He's the one now.
He's the one that's running for president now. But I know who you're talking about.
The one that died.
Yeah, he
Herman Cain.
Herman Cain. 999 tax plan. Nobody knew what 999 was, but he was 999.
He was the one with the speech from the Pokemon too. The speech that he gave at some political event came from Pokemon. These people.
Yeah, please get her some water to run. That's the only one missing. I really want to see run for president.
Oh my God.
What did she feel? 3 of Swords in the Tower. It's interesting you call her Nimrod because that's who's on this card, actually. King Nimrod was king of whatever the place was that had the tower.
Babel.
And so there's the 3 of Swords and the Tower, the 10 of Swords, the Moon, the 7 of Cups. I didn't think she expected this, which does kind of speak to her mentality. Again, outside digging the reading a little more, it speaks to her mentality that she thinks she's amongst her people because she's Republican. The R is all she thinks that people see. But no, lady, no. You went to a Trump rally called CPAC. It was not CPAC. Pence didn't go. Pompeo didn't go.
Nope. What's his face? Turtle didn't go.
The MAGA went, and you went and talked to them and then thought that they like brown people.
Oh, you know what I just remembered that I saw on a video clip on YouTube? Besides the gargoyle selling something and helping my pillow guy sell his pillows, Don Jr. was trying to get the people there to get on this Christian internet.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That Christian internet doesn't have its own infrastructure. So what they're doing is they're using the infrastructure from, I think it's T-Mobile or something. So he's trying to get people to get away from the woke, liberal companies to go to this Christian company. And it turns out that company doesn't even have their own infrastructure. So they're buying back the infrastructure and everything from woke companies. So it's like, it was just one big infomercial from what I understand. Just
Jesus was woke.
No, Johnny. Jesus hated everybody. He hated brown, Jews, Mexicans, gays, women. I mean,
he healed for free.
No,
he fed for free. He blessed for free. He was dark skinned with woolly hair. And then every time y'all do a Bible movie, he's some kind of light-skinned guy with long, flowy hair. That is not the real Jesus, in case you didn't know. They wrote down what Jesus looked like. All you got to do is put that in your movie.
No, Johnny. No. Jesus was blonde-haired, blue-eyed with a bad sunburn because he didn't wear
Jason with a Y. That's what that was.
Oh, my God.
But I do, on that note, though, rumor has it that there is a lot of evangelicals that are now about to start speaking out against the Donald Trump in this election cycle. Because, again, we have the Bush Republicans and the Trump Republicans. And so the Bush Republicans are the Pences and the Bushes who are Christian. And then the MAGA Republicans are the guys who hold the Bible upside down.
Can I please ask a really stupid question? I understand that they're breaking it down into Bush Republicans and Trump Republicans. But it's really the Bush Republicans and previously to that, the Reagan Republicans that led to the culmination of the Trump. It's the natural progression. It's not like they just woke up and went crazy. It's the natural progression, years and years and years of dog whistling and all this other crap that they've been doing. And this is what you end up with. So I don't understand. Can you explain it to me like I'm stupid? Because it doesn't.
Identity politics does not care about its roots. It cares about what you see on the outside. Its roots, yes. When you planted the seed for the apple tree and you got lemons, is because you changed the seed DNA or something of that nature. But there's a root to it. It started out as one thing, and then you, over the course of the year, actually, no, you didn't change it. It grew into what it was supposed to be. Because, as you said, they gave birth to him. He does not exist in the Democratic Party. He does not exist. He does not really even exist in the normal GOP, the Mitt Romneys of the GOP. He exists in that wing, but he exists in that party. He doesn't exist in any other party. People like him, MTG, exist in that party. They don't exist in any other party. So you can slice it down the middle and say Bush Republicans were Bush, and you cut from the same cloth. You just said it out loud. He said it behind closed doors.
And he pushed policies that were also what you're saying out loud too.
Because he's a criminal too. So
yeah, he's a war criminal. Last I checked. He sent my ass to war. That son of a bitch sent my ass to war. So I'm just saying.
We're asking if evangelicals will pull further away from Trump.
If their criticism for him will ramp up from evangelicals, yes, because that's where they are now. But you gave birth to this man. If you were really a follower of Christ, there is absolutely no way whatsoever you would have tolerated that man's behavior. I didn't say you had to hate him, because Jesus wouldn't have hated him, but he would have corrected him.
Yes, my friends, my congregation, go over here and vote for this man. They will continue to manipulate their followers, but towards a different man.
Y'all still the same people.
They're all still hateful. Bigotry is in their bones. I get that relationship has ended and the ship has sailed. So, yeah. Now, I see this as soon as you get another bigot in there that might be a little bit more cleaned up, they'll jump right back on it. Give him DeSantis, who's just as bad as Trump, if not worse, and they'll be like, that's our guy.
He's racist and homophobic to start with, and get behind him, because that's what Jesus would have done.
And that's exactly what Jesus would have done. And Jesus would have walked by the hungry and the sick and the poor and kicked them in the teeth, Johnny.
2 seconds ago, completely passed out over here. Open up the treat thing and what?
I get 3 of swords in the tower. Yes, there is betrayal and sudden separation, a destruction. They are criticizing his behavior, is what a lot of them are doing. And my question always was, how did he change at all?
You knew he was.
You met him. For those who lived in New York, they always knew who he was. I never knew, because all I knew is what I saw on TV. But he's been that person pretty much his whole life. So they say God doesn't change, Trump doesn't either.
What was it? Was it the upside down backwards Bible that made him see it? Like, what? When did they have a come to Jesus moment? You know, when they realized he's not the guy that's going to be able to pass your bigoted agenda. You know.
So I have one last question before we go. Merrick Garland vows to pursue Russian war criminals. He didn't say a name. He vows to pursue Russian war criminals. Now, there is 2 years left in the Biden administration if he does not run again. I did the reading already on, not like the detailed reading. I did a tableau on him because, mind you, we're just out of time. We do have more questions, but people were asking about his health, and his health popped up in that tableau, and there was a problem with it, and I think there will continue to be a problem with it, even though they said it wasn't, but I think it will. But what I want to know, because there's only 2 years left if he doesn't run again, he's not guaranteed to be the AG next time. Is he going to actually pursue charges, or justice, I should say, for Russian war criminals? However it is he does that. Whatever it is that looks like. Because we have some American war criminals I'd like you to kind of pay a little more attention to, but you know, guess you can do two things at once. Will he pursue?
Hell yes. He'll go after him because there's the bully and all the tangible evidence of everything he's done. Yeah, he'll go charging after him, burden the crap out of Russia and Russian war criminals. It's a matter of time. But yeah, he moves forward successfully with it.
Yes.
Then I get no. So I get the tower and the Ten of Swords. It's like no and no. So that's all we got for today. Thank y'all, all 1,800 of y'all who came out. Okay.
I just have to say one thing because I see several people asking about does Trump have illegitimate children? Johnny and I did a video in, I believe it was March of 2019, March, April, right around there, all the way back in 2019 on that subject and got a yes. So
we did it on a live stream too once. I remember.
Yeah, we did it once on a live stream, but back before we could live stream together, we did it together in a video you and I did together that we uploaded.
So, Sacred Sounds of Coffee. Let's do that one more time. When was that?
10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
First Mondays every month.
And so, see you, Jody.
On Jody's channel.
It will be on Jody's channel, Jody Roberts. And if you have not bought any music from her, please go to her website and do so. Especially if you need anything to keep you calm. That is the place to just go over there and just pick and sample it. It's a whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of goodness and goodies. So make sure you go do that. So we will see y'all next week, same bat time, different channel on Jen Lynn's channel at 7 Central, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, Hawaii. Bless your heart, do your own math. So
anywhere else in the world, do your own math.
I think it's 2 o'clock Hawaii, but anyway, so we'll see y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.